I'm a fan of the star we are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Super Cowboy.
And I'm Princess Angie, and you are tuned in to The Star We Are.
Hi, this is Jane Slater, and you are listening to The Star We Are.
Plugged in and switched on. This is The Star We Are, live.
Yay!
Heyo.
Happy Tuesday! It's a very happy Tuesday, actually, weirdly enough.
No doubt.
But,
No doubt.
well, we are The Star We Are, and I'm Slam and Sammy.
I am Landon.
And everything on Demon Day is here, and we have got a wonderful show to welcome you today. I'm excited. I'm happy to be back at it, to be back in the mix with you guys. Drop us some comments, drop us some likes, drop us some shares. We don't want to postpone too much further. Like Sam said, happy Tuesday. It's a good one. We've got a heck of a set list today. I'm so excited to get back at it. First off, just want to say thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks everybody who's ever supported. Thank you guys who helped us get us back on track. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get this show rolling. We've got a rundown for you today. I like it. It's a good one. You know, we got some updates for you, and we'll get into them. We'll talk a little bit about it, and we'll just let you know what we've got on the horizon and where the Star We Are is going in the future. And then Sam, of course, is going to give us the 411 on every week. She comes in. She absolutely slays it. She's going to give us the news, the breakdown, tell us what's new. Hopefully some good injury update news. I'm curious to find out. This is where I get my news. Hopefully it's where you get yours. And then Landry will give us some legends and some long shots. So let us know kind of what he's seen over this last week of NFL football. And it's, you know, I'm interested. I've got to see what the guy's got to say about that, because he's always got something a little special. Then, of course, we'll have Jimmy, the 2 jewels he has, and so I like to give them to you guys every week. It's not a Diddy party, so let's not go there. It's just a segment that I like to have. Everybody's got a diamond in the rough. I've got 2. I'll let you know what they are. Then we'll have a halftime, because just like all sports, and especially our beloved NFL sport, we're going to have to take a little break. I know you guys might need it. Grab some refreshments. We'll remind you to fan responsibly. And then we'll get right into the heat of it, where we're going to reevaluate the NFC East. Because as we all come into this season thinking, oh, the Dallas Cowboys should handle this. The Eagles get a little slump. They got Kellen Moore, Washington with a rookie quarterback, yada, yada. We'll get all into it. And we got to take another look at this thing, guys. Because I don't know if this NFC East is concrete. And then I've got a question. Is this season real? Is it? It's not real.
Pinch me.
Okay, wake us up. Wake us up, somebody. Please wake us up. And then we'll talk about the man, the myth, the movement, the legend. Fire the freaking GM, Jerry. And we're going to see what you guys think about that. We're going to see what Cowboys Nation thinks about that. Maybe the rest of the NFL world. We're going to have some fun talking about that. It's always fun when you get to discuss the Joneses. And Act 7. We got a test. We got a team that we cannot beat.
Here we go again.
We got to go back on the road to see them every single time, it feels like. Unless it's the playoffs, then they just come to AT&T and beat us up. Either way, we got to talk about Act 7. So, with that being said, got a good show lined up. Got some fun for you guys. How's your Tuesday been, Samantha? Or how's your last week been?
Insanity. Everett turned 3 on the 16th, and then we had a birthday party the 18th. And then I thought he started school yesterday, because they told me he started school yesterday. And then there was an in-service, so he started today. And then we leave for vacation tomorrow to go to New Orleans. And it has just been absolutely cannot deal chaos.
Okay. Well, that's
just
it. I was
it.
quite expecting, but so you've had a full week. Yeah. Mine's been okay. Before save the best for last. My week's been all right. It's been a good one. Like I said, a lot of show preparation, a lot of getting back into it, a lot of football watching. Of course, when you got a bye week, you've got to analyze not just the Cowboys, but life in general. So I like to look at bye weeks as kind of a mid-season crisis every year when you're a Cowboys fan. It's sort of like a midlife crisis, and that's when I just kind of release it all and let it all out in that bye week. So Landry, how's your week been?
Yeah, pretty well all in all. I mean, it's I think always the worst week of the season for any Dallas Cowboys fan. Bye week is something I kind of get through. There's plenty of other entertaining teams out there. I wish we were one of them who was more entertaining to watch. So I watch some entertaining football, and I need to get off of 3-3 as quick as possible. So you know me, I'm trying to get me to Sunday
For sure, no doubt. Get him to Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Get him to say, well, what do you expect this Sunday? Wait, don't say it. We got Act 7 coming up at the end of the show. If you want to know, stick around and find out. We've got our first comment in the show. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are you doing this afternoon? And so we will get right into this. Samantha always has the best updates, always has the best news. And when I say best news, I don't always mean good news. I just mean it's the best because it comes from Samantha and it's on the Star We Are, and this is where you get it. So we're going to roll right with it.
All right. I hope you guys are ready. I got some good, I got some bad, and I don't know. I don't think anything necessarily ugly. I mean, it depends on who you are. It is a little ugly, but it's not. I don't know. You'll find out. Anyways, so I just want to start out with, well, I guess a little bit about Jerry. After considering all the drama last week with 105.3, The Fan, he was back on for his weekly show. He did state that, and sorry, I don't have my glasses, so I might struggle for a minute. He stated that Deron and Micah availability will not be determined probably until game day or possibly the day before. They kind of want to see how practice goes this week and kind of make sure that they're about 100% before they throw them back in with risk of throwing them back out.
So no confirmation on Bland.
Well, that's what I would kind of. So it's not a confirmation, but his 21-day practice window was actually opened up on October 9th. So I think they sat him out last game just to be safe. I mean, Lions are a tough opponent anyway, so probably a good thing he stayed out. But there's not a reason he should still be out unless he's having troubles in practice, which I have not read anything about. I don't see why he shouldn't be back this Sunday.
Let's go.
Yes. And for Micah Parsons, he himself stated mentally he is ready, but he is leaving it in the hands of the trainers and the coaching staff to decide whether he comes back. According to Jerry Jones, it's mostly, all trainers' decision. If they think he's ready, then we will see Micah again. They say the way they see it is with so many games left, he needs to, be 100%. We can't have an 80% Micah and risk that 20% of something happening. Knock on wood right now that I even said that. But the facts are here.
It's funny, Samantha. I've got to kind of stop you for a second, put a little pause to this, and I know you're killing the news. But speaking of Micah's injury, so we were watching that game when Micah went down, and Jimmy's wife asked, has Micah Parsons got hurt last year, didn't he? And Landry replies with, oh, no, he's healthy. He's been real healthy. And I kid you not, at the end of him stating he's been real healthy, we turn to the TV and Micah Parsons on the ground. So Cowboys Nation, which way do I point?
This way.
Look, you can't get it right because it didn't even happen. No, I don't.
There you go.
I can't buy into superstitions like that. Close to Halloween, I don't know. Maybe some of you guys do. I didn't do it, I promise.
I believe that.
No.
Maybe if you were at the game and said that, I believe
Matter
it a
of fact,
little more.
I'm pretty sure I was wearing a Michael Parsons jersey.
So he double did it. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Just gets better and better. So with all these hurt players, we did sign an undrafted free agent, and I'm sure you guys heard about this. I believe we actually signed him the 17th. I could be wrong on that, but his name is Jalen Dalton. And while I feel like signing somebody with the offseason we had should be a positive, I don't think that this is a positive. Based on some information I read, so he got signed in 2019 originally as an undrafted free agent, which cool, they're seeking out people nobody else thought of, but maybe that was for a reason. The same year he signed with Chicago, he got waived. Not a good sign. 20 to 21, he did have season-ending injuries with the Saints. And then 22, he got injured and released by the Atlanta Falcons. 2023, he failed a physical. 2024, he went to the UFL, or whatever it's called anymore, the XFL, I don't freaking know. Anyway, he got placed on IR with the San Antonio Brahmas. So this man cannot stay healthy. And maybe me saying he can't stay healthy, he will freaking stay healthy. Not saying I'm not going to give the guy a chance. It's just going to be like this big, because why get my hopes up for someone that can't seem to keep his body together? Him being elevated is not a guarantee yet, but it is something to keep an eye on. This next thing, so I feel kind of bad. Karma is a real thing. So there was a viral video going around of Trayvon on the sideline saying about Jameson Williams, how he just couldn't stay caught up with him. Well, come to find out, Jameson Williams has actually been suspended for 2 games for using performance-enhancing substances, and like I said, is now suspended for 2 games. Karma is karma. I'm gonna keep that PG right here.
Is a karma is
yeah.
one of my favorite sayings of the year.
I'm just gonna keep it light here. So, and I'm sure if he wasn't using those performance-enhancing substances, even though Duran is a little slow to come back, I'm sure it would have been a lot better than it was. No offense, Trayvon. I love you. I support you all the time. It is what it is.
We all know that Trayvon has that recovery speed, that catch-up speed, and he's back to being fast. And James Williams was kind of burning everyone. He looked like the fastest guy on the field that game. So,
I guess that's what happens when you cheat. Yeah. So now kind of giving a little sneak peek into week 7. Someone else commented it, but I'm going to go ahead and give you my version of it. Brandon Ayuk, man, I watched that injury. It was brutal. I feel bad for him. I hate when anybody gets injured. It's terrible, horrendous. He tore his ACL and MCL and is out for the rest of the 2024 season. That same game, I believe he played the rest of the game, but George Kittle sprained his foot and still took a loss to the Chiefs. Anyways, he is listed as day by day. They didn't list him on the injury report right after it happened, which is why I think he played after. I can't remember for sure. But Sunday night or Monday morning, he started experiencing some substantial pain, which is why they elevated or got him on the injury list, and now he is listed as day by day. I'm kind of hoping he'll wait a week to come back, or if he wears the F Dallas shirt, that karma will karma again. Jawan Jennings, he has been a baller this year for the 49ers, and well, with Brandon Ayuk out, he's supposed to be the one stepping up. But during week 6 versus their games with the Seahawks, he sustained a hip injury. He did sideline for the Chiefs game, but they're kind of keeping an eye on it, and he may actually come back to play in Dallas, which that could be a threat considering that he had 25 receptions, 404 yards, and 3 touchdowns within these 6 weeks of football season. Well, I guess 8 now, but whatever. You catch my drift. Deebo Samuel, I wish you would have stayed 19. I know you're number 1, but you were in my prayers. He suited up. He tried to practice. During practice, he started to get sick. I seen him on the sideline. Dude looked absolutely terrible. Come to find out, he has pneumonia-like symptoms, aka, well, I think it's just pneumonia. And he had fluid in his lungs, so he is currently hospitalized still as of right now, getting better. So prayers for Deebo. I hope everything goes okay with that. That's rough. Back to some positive news, because injuries hurt my heart a little. So
let's hear it.
Kind of funny, but let me finish. So with the way our season has been going, I can't say the Cowboys as a whole will end up with a ring. But our quarterback, Rain Dakota Prescott, proposed to Sarah Jane Ramos, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, while playing golf. It was very viral. It was very cute. I'm so happy for her. And that, to me, is an automatic victory. That is a bye-week victory. Like, that is something definitely worth celebrating.
Congrats on Prescott.
Yes. One thing too, he is putting that signing money to good use. Rumor has it that was $1 million ring. So she is $1 million fiance.
So you're saying he could only buy like 240 of those rings?
That's it. That's not very many.
That's not enough rings.
But yeah, I just had to keep it short, sweet, and straight to the point. But that's my news for you guys for this week.
Sweet.
Huh?
I have to be unmuted to tell you that.
Oh.
Oh, you do? Yeah, I was wondering what the heck.
I was just waiting on the news stand. I didn't want to interrupt her. But what I got out of that, we'll get into later, is that the San Francisco 49er receiving core is pretty banged up. You know.
Banged up.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was like that. I didn't know about the Deebo Samuel news. So.
Oh my gosh. When I was watching him, like they showed him on the sideline, like he looked miserable. I mean, he was all padded up. Dude was trying. I even think he went out for a play or two, but he was seen on the sideline getting oxygen. I mean, it was 85 degrees there. It was beautiful. Like, you know, he has the stamina to go a warm game without oxygen. And yeah, after the game, he ended up going to the hospital.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough. You never wish injuries on anybody. So before we get into some Landry's long shots, those legends and long shots, we're gonna run through the chat here. We had some comments during the news, and so we got Chuck saying, "What's up, guys?" He's on the road but listening. Thanks, Chuck. Always appreciate your participation, my guy.
Yes,
Be
sir.
safe on the road. Safe travels. We got Kiddo Day today. We got somebody trying to compete here. The unknown barber with the news, keeping up with you,
Yeah,
Sammy, letting us know
cheater.
some stuff. And now he says, he wants to know what's up with Myles Garrett because the Browns be shopping him around, is what the word on the street is. So, with him lined up across from Micah Parsons, sure, that would be phenomenal. But will the Joneses make a move like that, and especially at what that guy costs, considering you got to pay Micah next year?
Well, we're getting into a whole topic. What would it solve exactly?
Yeah, I think there's right, because you have to earn the right to rush the passer, right? And while Myles Garrett might be okay in the run game, we're not necessarily hurting for pass rushes because when you get blown out, you're not rushing the passer. So, yeah, so it's just a move I don't think we can financially make nor need to make right now. Cup would be an interesting one, right? I hate getting guys off of injury. What do you think about Cooper Cup, Coach? Would he be worth an addition?
A lot of receivers would be worth an addition. We're having trouble, passing the ball, running the ball to open up the pass. We got a lot of issues, but certainly any kind of dynamic, previously proven dynamic receiver, it's not going to take you a step backwards. It's probably not going to cost you what you would have 4 years ago. So.
Hold on. Okay, so I just came back. I know you're talking about Cooper Cup. I also want to jump in real quick and say that I wouldn't count our luck on it, of course. It would be awesome. But I heard the Chiefs with Rashid being out, Hollywood Brown being out, all of them.
Make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I've heard they're a big candidate to get him, and they have the cap space to do it. So while I'm not saying don't doubt
no one
it,
else even has a choice, because where does it go? Listen, he's made some money. He's got paid from the Rams. Where's he going to want to go? To Dallas, who can't get it right, or to a three-peater? I mean, that's not even, no Diddy on the three-peater.
No.
Sorry, I'll stop. I've got to being a child. We're
That's
children
so funny.
at heart. You only stop playing because you grow up. Or what is this saying? I don't know. So
questionable for Jennings. I knew that.
Good engagement. What is he doing? He's being.
You know what? He needs a positive, because we can't blame him for everything going on. And I think that making himself happy is important too.
That's right, Chuck. If he's not going to win a Super Bowl, he's got to win it live.
Right.
Godwin's injury was the worst. That was bad. Yesterday was pretty bad.
Luckily, it was just a dislocated ankle. Sorry, still listening.
No, you're good. It was a dislocated ankle. But I've got to say, unknown barber. Trade 11. You may have just given us a topic for next week, because that's a big one. That's a hot topic. Is Michael Parsons tradable for the Dallas Cowboys?
Secretly, coach has been trying to bring it up with me for 2 years. Can y'all imagine, after Micah's rookie year,
I'll be right back.
You were talking about potentially trade 11. What could trade 11 mean? Could it be more beneficial to trade 11?
That's a whole nother show and topic right there. But we will get into that one day, I'm sure. But what we're about to get into now is one of my favorite times of the week. We're going to have some legends. We're going to have some long shots. They exist out there in the world. And Landry is going to know exactly who his are.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. This is back on track here. This is Landry's Legend and Long Shots for week 7, from week 7 of the 2024 NFL season. As always, we're going to start with the long shots. And the long shot of the week this week is actually going to be kind of a future long shot, a long-term long shot. And my take is going to be after, and again, it's terrible, and no shade or anything to Deshaun Watson. Like the injury is terrible, but given what I just saw and the injury history, the season he's missed, the 19 games that he's played over the course of the past 4 years, I think it's a long shot that Deshaun Watson is a starting quarterback in the NFL. The only thing that holds me up a little bit is I don't know exactly where that contract is. I don't know if there's only 1 or 2 more years left on it. But given where the time of the season injury happened, I don't know if he's ready to come back one next year. I was just looking at he's broke both ACLs, now the Achilles and clavicle. In this season due to suspension and playing poorly, was 31st in QBR when he did in the season, in the games he played. So yeah, a long shot for Deshaun Watson to be a viable starting quarterback in the NFL going forward. Unfortunate, because he was dynamic there for a time period. Legend is a kind of a tale of two quarterbacks. A quarterback that I've called watched probably more than once in the past, and Russ Wilson is, so it comes back. They give him the starting job, which he had won in camp, but was, it was good. It was a close battle, and then Justin Fields comes in, goes for it too. I guess as a surprise to me, maybe not to everybody, that they did even go with Russ before things looked terrible, even though it wasn't Justin Fields winning the games per se. And he comes in and makes throws you've seen him make before. He's probably the most underrated player who's ever going to go into the Hall of Fame. I believe he will. And he's back on track. The Steelers they're probably going to the playoffs. So that's the Legends and Long Shots for Week 7, 2024.
Jimmy, I can't hear ya.
Oh, well, it would help, Samantha. You and the rest of the world could hear me if I had a microphone that was turned on. So,
It might be key.
but no, I was telling Coach I got to get with him on the legend there. Russell Wilson getting back in the fold. We kind of thought he had that job. Yeah, and
it's not that he played, like I forgot to say, not that he's played spectacular, but he made throws that Justin Fields can't make. He made just awareness, just the fact for him to jump right back in there.
Their offense looked more capable and more dangerous with him in the pocket.
Dangerous. I see what you did there. Pun intended.
Oh, I wasn't even going there. But I'll tell you where I am going to go. And I'll tell you what I am going to do. Because I've got to do it every single freaking week they make me. Not all the time do I want to. Not all the time do I like to. You're right. I love to. I absolutely love to give you my jewels. You can have them. Every time you want them, all you got to do is ask for them. I'll give them to you. I've got 2 of them. They're sometimes identical. Sometimes they're not. This week, my jewels happen to be typically identical. What do you mean by that, Jimmy? Well, like I said, no Diddy jokes. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to do all that. But my jewels for this week are the bombastic bombers, the milk jugs, the beach balls, the super melons. What the pillows, whatever you would like to call them. This is October. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I don't know if you've been seeing the pink up in your top screen up there with the TSWA, but it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we have got to absolutely shout out all the double D's, double C's, single A's, double B's, triple E's. We got to give them some love. They all need love. Why? Because this is their month. This is October. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm going to be aware of them every single time. I'm always aware of the breast, and we all need to be aware of the cancer. So, Jimmy's jewels this week are your jugs. My jewels are your jugs. And I can't be happier to say that to you, ladies. So, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Get your mind right. Do some research. Get involved. Some of us might have a family member who suffered through it. So I know I kind of made that a positive note, but real seriously, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. My jewels are your jugs. Let's keep them protected. Go get your screenings. That's Jimmy's Jewel of the Week.
Oh boy, look at the power. I can take you to come up with that. Jewels are yours.
My jewels are your jugs. So that just kind of hit me about it's 9:30 this morning. Yeah. But I
Beautiful.
figure we were talking in Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Somebody had to say it and give it some love. And Jimmy does not mind pointing out the obvious.
Landry, you're muted.
Why do I do this to myself? Again, just waiting for Coach to finish talking. I just got to pay attention. But no, on another note about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, though, it's always a fun time because the NFL always makes a big deal celebrating it. And
Yes.
honestly, all the pink accents, little pink towel accents and stuff, always bounce off the uniforms. It's
Right.
an interesting game to watch when it's October.
It definitely is fun. It's fun stuff. So that's about half the show. We're about at the 30-minute mark. So we're going to take a little halftime. If you guys need a little breather, you can take a second. I know we're super entertaining. I know we all look and sound great. It's hard to walk away, but take your little halftime, take a second, go get you a drink. But before you do that, fan responsibly. How do you do that? Well, you hit like, you hit subscribe, you turn on your notifications, you drop comments, you support, you show love to the channel, and you go follow us on all your socials because we exist on all of them. Okay, make sure you go like the TikTok videos we do, especially the one with Sam slamming pickles down during the show. That's one of my favorite ones.
Stress eating.
Stress eating.
Sam, I'm making the TikTok, and I'm sitting there wondering. I'm like, I wonder if she's gonna love or hate this. That she's out there.
I was on my way to work when I seen it for the first time, and I literally went like laughed out loud, especially once I heard that first crunch.
The
I was like,
overdramatic
oh my
crunches, yeah.
god. That's perfect because I always love crunchy pickles. So
yes, he said, "What if I did a pickle counter and just did a TikTok of Sam slamming these pickles? Look how many she's eaten during the shot." And
and by the way, it's just and we'll add a little more context to it because Coach is the one who noticed it, and I'm sitting there like, "Oh, that's another one." And it started being funnier and funnier. That's another one.
Putting them down
because it's not over the course of the entire hour-long show. It's a little 2.5 minute segment where you go to the pickles. You can see you go to the pickles get somehow. And, 9 pickles in 2.5 minutes. Just while we're discussing the Cowboys' woes.
Man, that was some stressful moments. I would have eaten more just now, but I only had 3 left in my jar, so that was all I had.
Pity that. So hopefully
we talked about it before. What kind of pickles are you eating?
So somebody said that if you like bread and butter pickles, you've matured. I don't like regular bread and butter, but these are sweet and spicy.
Famous Dave. Yeah, I've never seen Famous Dave's down here.
So they're at Dollar General here, and I live like really close to a Dollar General. So I just went there and I tried them in Branson, and I was like, these are good. And they were like, this is bread and butter and spicy. I was like, I hate bread and butter, but I have bought in like 4 or 5 jars.
It's up, Famous Dave's.
Famous Days. Did you see the advertisement that you just got? Did you see the beautiful photo of your jar? We're gonna screenshot that photo of the jar sitting right in the middle of the screen. We're gonna send it to them.
You guys got pickles. You guys got Werner's beef jerky. Like, we should get the hookup, and I will eat it every show. Well, no. Remember last time? I think I had that big strip of beef jerky, and it was Werner's, my favorite jerky.
Werner's, that's right. Listen,
I will sponsor any food.
Do you know how much beef jerky we can sell to some tailgates? Okay, we need a sponsor. Holler at us. All right. So halftime's over. Hopefully, Sam, the pickle talk didn't make everybody too hungry. If it did, hopefully you got your snack, got your drink, because it is time to lock in. No more games. No more playing around. We've got to do some reevaluating. We've got to look at this NFC East and decide who the hell is in charge. Who's winning this thing? We got the Commanders at 5-2. We got the Eagles at 4-2. The Cowboys at 500, looking to right themselves on this ship to San Francisco that hopefully sails cleanly through the seas due to their injuries, like we did last week. So, we got a lot to look at. And then there's the Giants. I mean, I thought about leaving them off the list just because it felt irrelevant to put even their logo and the 2-5 up there. And I hate that now, as a Cowboys fan, I've relegated myself to dogging on the Giants the most, because I can't say nothing about the Eagles and the Commanders, because if you look at this list, they're better.
Because they're the only team that we're better than.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
as of right now, guys, I don't hate. I mean, I'm
fair.
I love the team. It's not what I was expecting, and I'm serious concern still.
What were you saying, Sam?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's kind of sad that Giants are usually one competitor we absolutely kill. That was a way closer game than I liked. And then the Eagles go and slam them, and I don't even want to think about it, it was kind of embarrassing. I mean, it's a win, and we need any win we can get right now, but
Well, and
that
they
was
slapped
rough.
him with the guy that the Giants sent to him
Been on
for
that.
way less than they should have sent him there for.
Look, I'll make it real easy, guys, with some couple quick comments. Washington's going to win the division.
As long as Jaden Daniels stays healthy.
Unless one of us, either us or the Philadelphia Eagles, beat them twice, then that might open the door. But right now, I see Washington winning the division, and I don't know if either Dallas or Philadelphia can get the wild card spot as of right. So I think Washington's in control, basically.
Well,
So
being
who's
at the
in
top,
charge, yeah?
no, for sure, being at the top right now. Obviously, they are in charge. If I had to pick, a winner to come out of this thing, it's sad because they might win the East with 10 wins. Is the problem? Like we've been a 12-win team the last 3 years.
Mhm.
Washington might win the East with 10. If they get to 11, it's a wrap.
I'm sad.
So, and I don't know if the Eagles can win 10. I think us and the Eagles are going to fight to get to 9 or 10 and try to hope Washington hit some slump. And then
You're going to have to be the team
that
that
10 wins gets you a wild card.
Yeah, you'll have to be the team that causes it. Like I said, I wish I was more. How close are the two Washington games when we play them?
I think they're like
I think
3 weeks
Thanksgiving and then
apart.
the end of the year.
Oh, because they're a little bit apart. Okay.
I think.
5
I'll
weeks,
look it up, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's Thanksgiving in the last game.
I love that we play them on Thanksgiving, except for now that the Commanders, it should be the Cowboys and Indians. But
I'm not.
It used to be.
yeah, hopefully they'll go back to it.
But yeah, I mean, I wish
But
I had
this-
more. I wish I had more to say, but we have plenty of other things on the board. But I don't. That's all I see. I mean, Washington, not they're in charge because they're up one game right now. Looking at their team, they can score a lot of points, man. They've got to be in the top 3 or 4, 3 to 5 in scoring.
They do. They have high points per game.
So we played them once, November 24th at noon, Thanksgiving. And then we played Giants, Bengals, Panthers, Bucks, Eagles, and then it's January 5th to be displayed is when we play the Commanders next.
Oh, with the time, yeah.
Yeah.
They would flex it if say Dallas and if it was a play game,
Right.
For one
Yeah.
reason or the other.
Be the last game of the season, and and that's interesting this year because we usually get them Thanksgiving and the last. It's either them or New York is the very last game of the season. It's kind of been that for a while. I remember I was at a Washington game a few years ago when we needed to beat them and New York needed to lose to Philly. Philly ended up beating New York or the other way around, whichever. We didn't make the playoffs, win another Jason Garrett 8-8 year. But now we're going to get them in the last game of the season, and it could matter. It could literally
be nice to the
division.
kitty.
It could be for a wild card spot for us or them, if maybe the Eagles have already taken the reins at that point. So usually the game against them at the end of the year is just kind of all for naught. We're sometimes even resting people. This year it could literally be a deciding game.
Yeah, so a little more context. So the Giants are at the bottom. I think they'll end at the bottom. Washington's at the top. I think they'll end at the top. And however we play, I don't know which of the two of us is any better than the other, but however those two games go, the standings might end up looking just like that. I mean, I'm over here looking at them like
That's tough.
could be 10 more weeks past and it's gonna look just like that. We're just gonna, I'll be looking at some 8 and 9. That was not expected. So
No.
Well, it can't keep going like this because I can't see them go,
like I said,
12 and 5.
I would love to be
like
excited that
us.
we're getting all these people back out of the bye, and these are Pro Bowlers, seriously, and all on the same side of the ball, and playing better defense can definitely help a lot of things.
We definitely
even trickle all the way over to offense, but
Right.
like you said, what's lingering in my mind is how we were playing before.
Right.
Yep.
A lot of people bring up the Saints game talking about it, and well, I feel like that was just a rough game. I mean, we did have pretty much everybody, I think.
Just drawing Bland is the
That's
only
what
one
I
we-
thought.
Yeah. That was just a game of
significant,
it felt because we obviously see that with the 2 left tackles out in Cleveland and no Nick Chubb at the time, they weren't a run threat really like the Browns were last year. They didn't give us that. So that second game was actually the first run test we had against the Saints. And it was just a Mike Zimmer's defense that was new to it. Defensive tackle position not performing well again. And so we just got, so it was Green Bay-esque. Now, why it's continued to be like that, other than stopping New York, who's 2 and 5 right now, so stopping them means nothing. We'll who knows what those reasons are. But
Yeah, and I'll give you a little segue here because I was just saying it to you earlier, and I'm sure everybody's feeling the same way. All you people out there going to games and so forth. These are expensive tickets for the products you're getting in the last 4, 5, 6 home games. It's straight blowouts, and that is going to fall on a lot of shoulders, and a lot of people have been putting it, towards the GM. We'll go right towards that, but
look, we last year we were at the Lions game, and it ended up being great because it was Jimmy's Ring of Honor induction. All of the Hall of Famers were there in the underground area. You know, it was crazy. The place was lit. We ended up coming out of that game with a win. We didn't go to this last Lions game, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know how I would have been feeling to pay that money and then watch 47-9, 40. And they're just dog walking. They could have, dude. They pulled their starters in the whole fourth quarter. It felt like they could have scored 60 if they wanted to. They could have just continued to do it over and over. And like you said, yeah, we were hurt, but I don't care if you're second and third string. You're in the NFL. You're not supposed to just get spanked like you're some kind of freshman college team. It was horrible. We're gonna get over that. We're past the lines. We've got to look forward to Act 7 against the Niners. But before we do that, we're gonna talk about a movement that's been going around this place. A little movement. And before we talk about that movement and how serious it is, we have got to shout out the man, the myth, the movement himself, Stefan Blitz, over at what is it, Blitz Sports, Blitz, what Attitude
yeah,
Era?
it's Attitude Era. It's
Attitude
formerly
Era.
Blitz on Twitter.
Yes.
There you go. And
I pulled
so
a you guys. I was muted.
you did. And so what is today for Mr. Attitude Era?
Happy birthday!
Yes, sir.
What? Everybody dance. You have to dance to the happy birthday music. Happy birthday to
I'm
you.
not a dancer.
All right. All right. So happy birthday, brother.
Good man, Steph.
You are. And so I'm not sure how, I think he looks like he's turning about 55 today. No, I'm just kidding. He's a great looking guy. He started this movement that we've got to hashtag fire the GM. Is it a real movement? What does Cowboys Nation think? Let us know in the comments. You tell us what you think. I, for one, sometimes think these kind of movements and think like this stuff is a little bit, child's play. It can be funny. It can be gimmickish. However, I feel like he's actually started something and actually got under the skin of Jerry Jones with the stuff he's been saying on 105.3 The Fan lately, with encouraging more fans to step up and ask the hard questions, because now when you've got one fan that's bold enough to stand at the Star, look at where this guy is in this picture here. When you've got one fan bold enough to go out there who used to work for the organization in some sense and go out there and say, Jerry, fire the GM, then all of a sudden you get guys like Shan and these Brian Brodus and the other guys on the fan saying, hey, Jerry, asking the tougher questions. And so while he may not have started a movement that's going to actually get the job done, he's made some motion. He's made some tracks with that thing. And I'm getting off track because I've got a cuteness overload right here in the middle of our camera.
Yeah, and we have to pause because also birthday week for Everett. I think we're still within a week from Everett's birthday. That was just
What?
just a few days ago. And
Mhm.
where have you got all this hair? Everett, where is all your hair, buddy?
It's all gone.
It's all gone.
And it
It
is the
looks
best
good.
thing ever. Yeah,
It looks
it's
so good.
We just got out of the bath, so it's bent a little sideways, but he looks like a big boy now. He acts like a teenager.
He said fire Jerry also.
You did.
Hey, can you say fire? Jerry. Good job.
You're done. You're done, Jerry. You're not getting away from that one.
But so comments on the movement. Yeah, I do think that Jerry hears and sees some of this stuff now. Last year, a few of us out there in the content universe really feel like the Get Jimmy in the Ring of Honor thing impacted. So I think Jerry saw this, and I think he may have seen the mornings on the fan tirade.
Yeah, 100%.
But I've already said, it's definitely how a lot of the fan base feels. They had a vote in there if they were shareholders or something like that, like the Green Bay Packers, but it's not happening. So we'll keep plugging through at his will, and whim.
Yeah, we're in Jerry's world, which here.
And then which moves forward to your sentiments. If it is move forward at his will and whim, when it does eventually, inevitably transition to Stephen Jones, we'll be in a whole new unknown scenario.
Unknown.
And a real unknown, I think.
To the season for the Dallas Cowboys, and fans are feeling it. Many are voicing their frustration. And as Meredith Yeomans shows us, one fan is taking his message to the streets.
Fire the GM.
His plain and simple sign.
Fire the GM. Jerry.
And I'm also wondering what happened there. I'm wondering if he, if he got himself out there, like he must have stayed out there for a while to be out there long enough for someone to notice and someone to be like, hey, get out there and talk to this guy. So
Right. Jimmy, you're muted.
That's
Maybe
because
we-
I was saying things not allowed on air, Sam. I was getting it out. I was saying so many things to Jerry that you guys aren't allowed to hear. That's right. I was getting censored. But
Yeah, you're muted.
this Photoshop under the words "the movement" is not. I mean, this photo under the word movement is not Photoshop, guys. This man was standing there on that day 4 hours, like Landry was just saying, for somebody to notice him. Not only did they notice him, somebody said, hey, call the news people. He's going to be here a while. He told some people, I'm not going nowhere. I'm here all day. And I heard the myth is that he stayed up there for 72 hours, didn't change, didn't use the restroom. His sign like withered away. He was still standing there. He grew 3 inches of beard while he was there. His wife actually is writing a book about the scent of his socks because it was so astounding. I mean, so the guy put in some mad work for Cowboys Nation and stirred some beehives in the Jones family. So
and said what most people have been thinking.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I posted on Twitter right before our podcast tonight, and I just wanted to ask a question because I knew we were talking about Jerry Jones, and I asked, what made you start to dislike Jerry Jones? And it comes back. People talk about somebody. A couple people said his face. Had to get that out there. A couple people talked about, not even the fact that he fired Tom Landry, but how he did it, everything he put Jimmy through.
Sure.
Once he got in and took over as general manager, like the hate goes back.
Oh, no, it goes back. What I know about it goes back absolutely exactly to firing Jimmy Johnson, because there's resentment, like there's excitement and happiness for the 3 Super Bowls that were there. There's resentment for not winning 5 or 6 in a row and being the Patriots.
No, it really was. If Jimmy stayed there, I believe he would have won about 5. And listen, the only reason he didn't get the firing Landry hell that he caught for firing Johnson is because he went and won 3 Super Bowls so instantly. The only reason you get away with that one, because Landry wasn't just, Tom Landry built America's team. Jerry Jones didn't build America's team. Jerry Jones bought America's team, and then Jimmy Johnson made it America's legacy.
And honestly, he hired a guy who he was a friend with at the University of Arkansas that he played with. So
yeah, well, that's what it was. He took some oil money and bought a football team because he loved the sport. He just, in his mind, sometimes a rich guy who does something and then it succeeds right away says, yep, that was me. That was all me.
Right.
And then he keeps trying to do it, and you can't blame him for it. You can start to resent him for it, but you can't blame the MO of, I did this at one point, I'll get it done again. Because it's hard to win 1 Super Bowl, and he figured out a way to get his team 3 in the 90s. So, yeah.
But then didn't he make a promise, like, if we win this one, I won't ask for any more? Something along those lines. Yeah, and somebody else said, too, and I didn't know that he said this. Someone said when he famously said, American audiences love it when we lose, and we make the same money either way. I think he's past the whole thing of winning. It's just keeping him rich, even though he had plenty of money to feed all of us. So.
I think the winning is still important because Jerry's rich without the Dallas Cowboys and was before the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. Okay, that's true. But.
And generational wealth. Like, they literally didn't need any more. But
yeah, and I don't think it's so much that it's the lack of like concern for the winning. I think he's more saying, like, honestly, what's wrong with y'all? Like, look, we can lose. We ain't won in 30 years. Y'all keep showing up. Y'all keep paying whatever we charge. Y'all love us the same. I can get up here and say everything I want to say, because it seems like, if I'm Jerry, I'm sitting there thinking, it seems like everything I say and do, y'all hate, but y'all love my Dallas Cowboys. So which one is it?
I love America's Cowboys.
You love America's Cowboys. Well, the guy owns them right now, and unfortunately, he's
He
making
does.
all the decisions as GM, and that's what the movement's about: is getting
He is.
football GM up in there.
He owns them. He owns them right now. He put us in the situation with the off-season moves that happened to be in what you're calling a comeback or a build-back mode. And look at this graphic of Jerry Jones and Ethan Jones. Why you gotta clown him like that? I mean, I guess they deserve it. It's not panning out right now.
Like father, like son. Are we in a comeback? Are we in a build back? Is this season even real? I'm not sure what to think of it. It's like a Dumb and Dumber movie. It's like we just keep getting joked at. Well, we don't need a running back. We're good. We're going to bring Zeke back. We couldn't afford a running back. Well, which one's true? We're going all in. What I meant to say all in was by the players we already have. It's just been, I got to
Paid a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. Traded him for a fifth. Straight up.
Yeah. And then 2-3 years later, someone else trades him for a third when he's
It makes
fixing
me
to turn 30.
sick.
Ugh, that's
So it's those types of things that are, that making it look like, the Dumb and Dumber currently of the NFL. It's a build back for me in the sense of I don't think it's going to happen this season. Right? They're not going to come back this season, and I'm don't think they're going to make the playoffs. If they do, they're not winning the Super Bowl. They could win a game. You can have that good game, but it's not any different than last season. So it's not a comeback to do something miraculous this season. It could be a quicker build back than it's not a rebuild.
no. We got a lot of bones.
Lots of big bones. But I just how much faith can I put in next season's off season looking different? For that to build back to happen quicker, to build back to some kind of serious contender.
Yeah, I hate thinking about what you guys are saying. I know you're absolutely right, but man, the players we have now are phenomenal. Like we have so many great players that other teams would kill to have, and we're just wasting them.
We just don't have enough above average players in the rest of it.
It's so quick how and it's hard to get a real grip on things, especially with the fan base feels, because now you hear so much talk this season. We need a young coach with a mind that works, and Mike McCarthy's still living in the old days, but all these same people are going, look at how Mike McCarthy is cooking and brought the best out of Dak Prescott last year when he was second in MVP votes. So which one is it? Is Mike McCarthy too outdated, or he was a beast last year? It can't go from season to season like that. Our guy Nick, shout out to him. He said that one of his problems is he thinks since Linehan's been in the building, it's looked similar, and we haven't had that explosive offense in the run game that we need. He thinks Linehan might be the problem. I mean, there's so many things that it could be, and that's where the movement exists.
But the idea that the offensive line coach is stifling the run game, just stifling any new play calling and everything else.
And those are the type of things that GM, coaches, all the personnel have to figure out and fix. When you, like Sam was saying, we have the talent. How do you get that talent to perform? Put the right coaching and staff around it. I know we went 12-5, but shout out to JToke 151. He said, I believe it was, we put on our makeup and go beat all these bad teams and look real pretty, but then we got to take off the makeup when we face good teams and we look real ugly. And so while we were at 12-5 for 3 years with McCarthy, it was just a whole lot of makeup. It feels like it really does. Cause like I said, we have bones, we have pro bowlers, but when it comes down to, is our football team prepared to go win tough games? It doesn't feel like it. It just doesn't at all. You can go back to the Lions game last year and say that was a tough game. Yeah, but they almost were obligated to win. Jerry Jones just got put in the Ring of Honor. You don't go get embarrassed on that night. And it almost, and I'm not going to lie. I feel like the refs were scared of the wrath Jerry might cause on them if they let the Cowboys lose that game on that night. I'm going to tell you right now, with the whole debacle in the end zone at the end of the game, I don't know. I'm not saying for sure. I'm just speculating with the two eyes that I have.
Hey, pass. I don't like my football being tampered with. I don't even like talking about it.
No. But at least he got his karma. I don't know. I hate that we lost to the Lions, but I'm glad it was on Jerry's birthday of all days.
Oh.
So, Sam, are we going to come back or we build back? Just real quick before we move on.
I think we're going to build back. I feel like we're kind of past the point of no return this year. I mean, we could come back and do better than we've been doing, but I don't think we're going to come back
anymore.
Yeah, no.
Sam, do me a favor. Point your finger right down at the bottom of your screen, just like that. Just over to your left a little bit.
Build back.
Nope, over right in the middle. You see that little symbol in the middle right there? That's me. Because while I think we're going to make a comeback, I do think we can win 10 games or 11 and sneak into the playoffs. I have a little bit of faith because we got some people
Well,
coming back from injuries.
I think I said that as well, but is making the playoffs and doing the exact same thing, falling on your face in the first round, is that a comeback?
No, which is why in this offseason Jerry is actually going to build back. So I think we have a slight comeback that it encourages the build back, hopefully. But that's just me being a faithful Cowboys fan and praying and hoping and wishing we shall see. But without further ado, we've got to move on. We've got to talk about this last game.
I watched that in person. I mean, not there, but I watched that game, and it was amazing. Sorry. I needed some positivity, and that's it.
That was a good game, but that was the Kansas City Chiefs playing them. How do you feel about us playing them? Since you recently watched the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, okay,
who,
so
by
I've
the
got
way, aren't the team they were, at least right now. They're 3-4. We'll start there.
Exactly. So first of all, Patrick Mahomes didn't play a great game. I'm pretty sure he threw more interceptions and I'm pretty sure actually him and Brock Purdy both threw 0 passing touchdowns that game. That's bad. That's rough. If we can put a stop to that, I think we do have a chance to beat them. And it might come to the fact that, and I hate to say it, but our luck, I don't even know if luck's the word, our chance is that Brandon Ayuk is out. George Kittle's questionable. Jawan Jennings is questionable. Jawan Jennings is becoming a threat more and more. I don't know. I think if we can manage to, I don't know, I guess kind of like you guys said, put on some makeup. I don't know, at least put up the front that we're a good team for at least that game. It's possible. But
yeah. I think it is possible both ways. I think it's going to depend on who's healthy and how healthy. I think Ron Bland will play, but what exactly you're going to get out of him. Yeah. I don't know whether you need Micah Parsons, to beat this team. Maybe
it would be nice.
Both these teams have to have the win, basically. So that's another tough one. It's not you're to go beat San Francisco would be to bury them as well. And they're not the type of team. They're not the type of team to just lay over and say in-house. It's again, it feels like a lot against us. I want Vegas for us to win. But
yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up too high, but I'm there, and I feel like we can also, as long as we can get it to where Brandon Aubrey can kick us a field goal, I have more faith. That's sad.
Oh yeah, I have. See, I have faith in if we can get it to Brandon Aubrey to kick us a game-winning field goal. I have faith. But watching him kick us 5 field goals for 15 points,
maybe we could get Trent Williams ejected again.
We'll see if he gets actually suspended and maybe he'll miss this game, but I'm not really sure how that works.
I tried to look it up. I didn't see anything.
Again, we've hit on it. The offense, the receiving board. If they're really down both of them and the tight end, well, then if they run all over us and say we're just going to run it and still do it, then so be it, we'll lose.
So that's where I'm at. So that's the game plan anyway, right? And it's going to be interesting to see because we brought Zimmer in because he's good against this Shanahan run scheme, run tree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him in. So that's going to be an interesting matchup in battle. However, a lot of it takes being good at the defensive tackle position. We have not. Matter of fact, if you look at our guys' ratings, we've been amongst the worst at the defensive tackle position. So that doesn't really help your scheme when your linebackers can't run free and you can't. Your scheme doesn't work if it doesn't happen at the front defensive tackle. So that's always going to be a question mark until we know we've got a guy. Hopefully somebody shows up this week. Like I said, most of our guys, Mozzie, Lindahl, they've all been performing at the bottom of the defensive tackle list in the league. While they're down a receiving core and a tight end, like you guys said, for me, that just means they're probably down better blockers on the second level. Because, like I said, the game plan is to come in and run the ball against our team anyway. So when you lose a Debo, when you lose a Kittle, you just lost a great blocker at the second level that's going to get you a 20-yard run as opposed to a 7 or 8-yard run, where I feel like my team can't stop the 7 or 8-yard runs. Therefore, the game plan doesn't change a bit for Kyle Shanahan. It just means that maybe Brock Purdy doesn't feel as comfortable with his targets. I bet he doesn't throw the ball over 22 times.
I hope he throws 2 interceptions those 22 times.
Me too, Sam, because that's exactly what it's going to take to win. It's going to take the turnover battle. It's going to take the time of possession battle. They still have their offensive line, barring a Trent Williams thing that I don't think we're even going to get. So they still got their offensive line and the running back who's been running for them. it doesn't even matter the name on the
Jordan
back of the jersey
Mason.
or
Yeah,
the
Jordan
number.
Mason.
Yeah, he's been really good. No disrespect to Jordan Mason. He's been running his tail off, great athlete. But I just mean when it comes to the 49ers, it almost doesn't seem to matter the name or the number on the back of the RB jersey. Just put, when Debo takes a handoff, it looks the same. So it's, we got to test. My team hasn't proven to me in 5 years that we can beat this team called the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't care about injuries, because just like last week, I can't sit here and say, oh, we lost the line so bad because of our injuries, and then say, oh, well, we only beat the 49ers because of their injuries. I'm not going to do that. I don't care about injuries. You got to play football. They're still a good team. They're going to run it down our throat. If we win this game, it will be a quality win. And just like Landry's saying, 3-5 will crush this team. 3-5 will crush us too. So you really can't afford to lose this one, because then you got to go see the Houston Texans in AT&T next week, and they're going to be tougher than this game.
And if you do beat them, it can be the type of thing that they catapult you. You beat them, stay hot, get through the Texans. All of a sudden, you win 2 you didn't plan on winning. Then you've made it to that back half of the schedule you're talking about, where it doesn't look as enticing now because Washington's better than you thought they were going to be preseason.
Right.
The 2 games in Washington changed it a little bit, but there's still a Carolina on the schedule that Washington and the Giants people have already gotten to beat up on, and some other lesser teams. So
No,
could
I
be the-
just got.
Could be the catapult, but I'm gonna have to see it. Show me, prove me wrong, Dallas. I need to be proved wrong and have a whole new outlook next week.
Right, I agree. I just want to say that you bringing up the Texans, I don't know why. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty sure Nico Collins is on IR, and that's a huge blow for them. And Tank
That's
Dell
big.
didn't play at all last game. Well,
Yeah.
not very good. So I'm excited for that game, Trayvon and Stefan. Like, I'm excited for
Yeah.
them to play
I'm
together. I
finally
am
going to get to see
pumped
that.
for that game, and I feel like my gut is giving me happy feelings for that game. I know we're going to end up talking about it, hopefully, as long as I'm
Yeah.
back from vacation on time. But I am pumped for that game way more than any other game this season, besides,
Yeah.
Panthers and stuff.
Who's the
but-
one? Adam Schefter's the one who always breaks the news on like active news signings and so forth. Who's the one that breaks all the injury news? I can't find the name right now.
Is it not Ian Rappaport?
Is it Ian?
I think I get a lot of his notifications. He is one of my go-tos.
Whoever it is, you're the new version of that. All of a sudden, you seem to know not just us, but everyone's depth chart, exactly who's injured, questionable, probable.
Thank
possible.
you. I try. Like, I feel like he changed his profile picture on Twitter. No, he didn't. Okay, God. I was about to say, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's my go-to for everything. Yep, because he just tweeted about Mike Evans' hamstring injury, which I watched that
How
happen
bad
too.
is
I
it?
was pissed.
What is that?
We'll keep him out after the week 11 per Todd Bowles. He described it as moderate, but says Evans is hurting pretty good.
Okay, so that's
8,
not
9, 10, 11.
That's
Yeah.
not quite. That's not quite what I thought, because the way it was so severe and his reaction to it, I thought that was a tear. Like the type of thing that can be 8 weeks the rest of the season. So good to see
Yeah,
him come back, because they took a lot of hits in that game.
And Chris Godwin, yeah, that was
Yeah.
rough. But yeah, I'm trying to sponge up all the information I read, and I feel like I am very forgetful, but for some reason, like, I want to be more football, and I am becoming more football. Like, my hair color is even reminding me of a football a little bit. Like, it's getting pretty serious. And I'm so excited for this Taylor Swift concert just to be in the stadium of the Caesars
Okay.
Superdome. Like, I am wearing this. I mean, my outfit is the midnight era, so this fits with my scheme and everything.
You're going to
Bam.
see Tay-Tay at the Caesar Superdome?
Yep, or October
I'm sure there's some jealous
27th.
people out there.
Wait. Your
Honey.
outfit is the midnight era. Does that mean when you go to the Eras tour, you dress in a certain like Taylor Swift era? Is that what you're talking
Yes, so that's it. So I am dressing actually pretty Cowboys colors. I'm wearing dark blue, midnight blue, silver, and white, and then a little bit of black and gold, just jewelry wise. But yeah, dark blue, silver, and white.
And that's
And
what you're talking
I'm
about, leaving tomorrow. You're leaving tomorrow, and the concert's when?
the 27th.
Nice.
All right, so we'll talk
It's
about it on the next show.
crazy expensive down there. Yeah, we were looking for hotels, and it was like $1,500 to $2,200 for 3 days. And I found
I
a
know
couple
what's going on.
Airbnbs that are cheaper than that. Yeah, it's all Taylor Swift. Like,
I know
people
what's
were
going on.
naming their Airbnbs Hey Tay.
Nice. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure the watchers and listeners would love to know all about that. So get as much photos and content as you can. Send it to us. We'll put together some media, and like Landry said, next week's show we'll recap Sammy's adventure to Tay World, y'all.
Yay! Don't get used to it though. I have listened to her every day for this month, and she is stuck in my head, and it is driving me crazy.
It happens. She's a pop star.
Yeah, she is. I have to admit, I hated on her pretty well, and I still am not the big fan of her. She has a couple good songs that I could see myself listening to.
Yeah, she's a good songwriter.
What's that,
Glad
Jimmy?
you caught
Well, that
that.
was speaking backwards, because what we're going to do is we're going to rewind and recap the show. We got Act 7. We got the 49ers coming up. We talked a little bit about firing that man named Jerry, at least firing the GM. Oh, wait, Jerry is the GM. So you got to fire yourself, big bruh. And we talked about a little bit how, like father, like son, they're playing a little dumb and dumbest over there in the front office and making some bad decisions. We also recapped who's in charge in the
dumbest.
We talked a little who's in charge. Unfortunately, it's the commanders, commandees. Not sure, don't care, don't like them. We had halftime. Fan responsibly. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notice, guys. Listen, it's the most valuable thing is your time. So if you've ever spent it with us, we can't thank you enough. And listen, it's beyond words to say thank you for watching this show. We love to do it. We're going to do it anyway, but when you tune in, it makes it so much better for us. So, and then Jimmy gave you his jewels, which are y'all's jugs, ladies, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We got to shout out. We got to show them some love. I'm sorry I keep doing it. I mean to make people laugh. And then Landry gave us some long shots. I believe it was Mr. Russell Wilson being a legend, coming back, picking his team up, looking like he made a better offense. And then your long shot, Landry, remind the people your long shot one more time.
Yeah, the unfortunate Deshaun Watson injury, lead me to believe he may not be in the NFL too much longer, and then kind of cut his career. It took a downward spiral there at the end. It's unfortunate.
It's you don't wish injury on anybody, like, and I'll be the first to say, in the situation he went through and kind of some of that stuff,
a hard road.
I'm sure I was one of the people who kind of frowned on the guy a little bit, but I don't care how bad you frown on a guy. If they're not Hitler, you don't wish that on them. You know what I mean?
And all the millions in the world aren't making multiple ACL recoveries and this injury, and the fact that you probably wanted your NFL career to turn out differently and thought
yeah, 100% for sure. No,
seeing him ball sucks. Yeah. Seeing a grown man cry on a football field is horrible.
I don't even think we got to it, but that was what you were upset about earlier, and a lot of people, the reaction to it. It was a horrible reaction to it as well.
Yeah.
People were cheering. Don't get me started on that.
They're right. That's not fanning responsibly. It's not. That's not how you fan responsibly. And we were there when number 4 went down, broke his leg, crying on the cart. On a contract year, not knowing if he's going to get his money, if he's going to be playing for the. I mean, it was So we've been there. And then we ran a little bit further, where Sammy said just about everything we could let her say, and gave us all the news and the updates. And so, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fantastic Tuesday. It's been a great show. I've had some fun. I hope you guys have all had some fun. Any closing words from either of you?
I've said it all. The Cowboys show me something so I can have more
I say a lot.
Words. I don't want to say the negative anymore.
Yay, I love that. See, positivity is all we need. Negativity is just going to bring us down. Be positive. Sunday might not go our way, but I feel like it'll be better than it was. So just take it and go on to the next week. So
I love the re-encouraging. It's not going to go our way, but just be happy anyway.
Prove us so
I'm
wrong,
hoping
Dallas.
it'll go our way.
Prove us wrong.
Just you three.
Prove us wrong. All right. Well, guys, thank you for being with us. Happy Tuesday. Make sure you tune in next Monday at 10 a.m. as we kick back up AM Mayhem, where Jimmy might go absolutely bonkers depending on what happens in this Niner game. And then, of course, every Tuesday at 6 p.m., we see you back there with the deuces, hanging the bunny ears. So we will holler at you guys. Everybody on the show, thank you again. And remember to always, always, always tell them, Landry.
They're responsible, guys.
All right.